easier. So, I tend to do this thing every year. And this is a time of year that kind of gets into my heart a little bit because look at the weather. It's cold. It's cold, right? And we're supposed to love our neighbors. And who is your neighbor? Well, it's kind of like everybody within your midst, really. And if you know somebody or see somebody that's out in the cold and they are within your midst, you should love them. So, my name's Brian. Welcome to Let There Be Light. I do not go live all the time. Like I said, I do this about once a year when the weather's like this. So, welcome to the show. And I have quite a plethora of verses I want to go over. And it's a special episode of What's in the Bag? So we'll get to that. But I hope you're well. I hope whatever you're doing today, you're doing it for the glory of Yah. And there's millions of people right now that are about to watch something that has nothing to do with spirituality. So if you're catching this, shalom and welcome aboard. So, it's cold. Where to start? Can you hear me? Can you hear me all right? Say yes. Say no. I'm testing this microphone out. Maybe I need to, yes? Okay, good. Thank you, sister. So, to start, let's look into, that's biodegradable, by the way. Matthew 5. Marith Yahu. And it's just the first 10 verses, really. But when he saw the crowds, he went up on a mountain, and he was seated with his taught ones. And having opened his mouth, he was teaching them, saying, Blessed are the poor of spirit, because there is the reign of the heavens. Blessed are those who mourn, because they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, because they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, because they shall be filled. Blessed are the compassionate, because they shall obtain compassion. Blessed are those in the clean of heart, good intentions, because they shall see Elohim. Blessed are the peacemakers, because they shall be called sons of Elohim. Blessed are those persecuted for the righteousness that they do. Being a priest. That's beautiful. So what are some aspects of this? Righteousness. Lots of righteousness in there. Let's go to the front of the book-ish. And let's turn to Leviticus 19. Verses 13 to 18. Do not oppress or rob him. The wages of him who is hired is not to remain with you all night until morning. And do not curse the deaf, or put a stumbling block before the blind, but fear your Elohim. I am Yahweh. Do no unrighteousness in right ruling. Do not be partial to the poor, or favor the face of the great, but rightly rule your neighbor in righteousness. Do not go slandering among your people. Do not stand against the blood of your neighbor. I am Yahweh. Do not hate your brother in your heart. Reprove your neighbor for certain, and bear no sin because of him. Do not take vengeance or bear a grudge against the people of your Elohim, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am Yahweh. So, that last line is kind of what we're going to be talking about today. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. We're going to take a break from this for a second. And what's in the bag? So, you see it's a plastic bag. It is waterproof. Waterproof is part of the weather. And some of these neighbors among your midst, some of them don't have houses. So it's a kind deed. And this is one aspect to do these things. All of these things are actually bought at the dollar store. Wool. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, right? So wool, if we go back to Genesis, I mean, I'm not going to turn there, but I'll talk about it. Wool was one of those beautiful things that Jacob, that was near and dear to his heart for quite a time. He actually camped out, cowboy camping in the woods with his flock of sheep. And those sheep were fine. The spotted ones, the striped ones, the list goes on. There's a bunch of them. And he cared for them. He sheared them. And wool is great. I have a wool jacket. I do roofs for a living. It gets quite cold and it gets rainy. And the wool protects me. So if you have something with wool and you see somebody shivering, know that their fingers are flipping numb. And their hands are like ping pong paddles. They can't move them. So give them some wool if you have it. If you have two, give them the two. What else? Water. Water's huge. A lot of these people, they haven't had water in quite some time. Actually, they've had something else for quite some time on it. But water's better. I don't know where to put this. It's going in the snow. Hopefully it doesn't freeze. What's one more thing? And then we'll open back up the book. And I hope you're enjoying this so far. It's been 10 minutes. Type in yes if you're enjoying this. A hat. You know, I'm wearing a hat, but maybe if you have 2 or 3 hats, you could give another person one off of your head. I don't know. I'll put them 2. If it'll fit. Let's see if it fits. Now these things. Look at that. What is that? Enough of that. Sit out here and look like a dork in front of the deer. Oh yeah, back to the book. So we'll get back to that. Now, I'm squirreling off here. The bag, you can stuff your bag however. But, this was previously It's like organizedly speaking, but kind of coming out as random. But these people don't care. They're gonna rip it out and just throw it all over the ground and just use what they can use when they need to use it, which is a beautiful thing. I mean, the gifts you can give people. If you celebrate Shabbat, it's a day of rest. And if you are out there shivering, you are not at rest. So what a gift that you can give somebody to give them rest. Let me see, where we got now? Matthew 25. Let's get a little serious here, okay? Start verse 32. And all the nations shall be gathered before him, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd separates his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand. That might be over on the other side if this is mirrored. I'm not sure. But the goats he shall set on his left. And the sovereign shall say to those on his right hand, Come, you, blessed of my Father, inherit the reign prepared for you from the foundation. And you gave me food, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me. And if you didn't even come to me, at least you wrote to me. Then the righteous shall answer him, saying, Master, when did we see you hungry, and we feed you, or thirsty, and give you any drink? And when did we see you a stranger and take you in, or you were naked and we clothed you? And when did we see you sick, or in prison, and we came to you? And the sovereign shall answer and say to them, Truly I say to you, insofar as you did it to one of the least of these that are my brothers, you did it to me. He shall then go also say to those on the left hand, Go away from me, accursed ones, into the everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his messengers. For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you did not take me in. I was naked, and you did not clothe me. I was sick in prison, and you didn't even visit me. Then they also shall answer him, saying, Master, when did we see you hungry, or thirsty, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not serve you? Then he shall answer them, saying, Truly I say to you, in as far as you did not do it to the least of these, you did not do it to me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment. But the righteous, the ones who did, the ones who cared, the ones who learned to care on this blessed but sometimes vicious hard walk, well, they shall go into everlasting life. So, Brian, we don't know these people. I've never met them before. I don't even know how to strike up a conversation. I'm scared. Some of these people are drug addicts. They're alcoholics. If I give them anything, maybe they... Well, what am I enabling? Well, that's their decision, isn't it? But at least you tried. You tried to be righteous. Let's go to James. James 2. I hope you all are staying warm out there, wherever you're at. Let's go to James 2, 13 to, I don't know. For the judgment that we just got done talking about. For the judgment is without compassion to one who has shown no compassion. And compassion boasts over judgment. My brothers, what use is it for anyone to say he has belief but does not have works? This belief is unable to save him. And if a brother or sister is naked in any capacity and in need of daily food in any capacity, but one of you says to them, "Go in peace, be warmed and be filled," but you do not give daily needs, what use is that? So also believe, if it does not have works, in it itself is dead. But someone might say, "You have belief, and I have works. Show me your belief without your works, and I shall show you my belief by my works." It goes on to talk about Abraham and so forth. If anyone says that you don't need works, well, perhaps your faith alone will save you. Where is your righteousness? I ask myself these questions. We're all human beings. Okay. We're all created here. We all come from a mother and a dad and a father. Okay? And as one, well, we're all one. So let's turn to Corinthians. 1 Corinthians. Corinthians 12. Mm. 12:12. For as the body is one, and has many members, 1, 2, 3, 4, no. But all the members of that one body, being many, are one body, so also is the Messiah. For indeed by the Spirit, the Ruach, we are all immersed into one body, whether Yahudim, Jews, or Greeks, whether slaves or free, And we are all made to drink in one Ruach, Spirit. For indeed the body is not one member but many. If the foot says, because I do not belong to the body, but therefore not belonging to the body? No. And if the ear says, because I am not an eye, I do not belong to the body, does it therefore not belong to the body? If all the body was an eye, where would be the hearing? If all hearing, where would be smelling? But now, Elohim has set the members, each one of them, in the body as he has pleased. So we all have a purpose. And if they had been one member, well, where would the body be? It'd just be a bunch of legs walking around with no heads. And if they all had been one, okay. And now, there are indeed many members, but one body. And an eye is unable to say to the hand, I have no need of you. Or again, the head to the feet, I have no need of you. But much rather, those members of the body which are thought to be weaker are necessary. And to those of the body which we think to be less respected, these we present greater respect, and our unseemingly members have greater seemingness. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying. Whether our simply members have no need, but Elohim blended together the body, having each greater respect to that member which lacks it. That there should be no division in the body, but that the members should have the same concern for one another. And if one member suffers, all the members suffer with it. Or if one member is esteemed, all the members rejoice with it. And you are a body of Messiah, and members individually. We have one more. So, down to the aspect of people who don't have necessities. Would you consider them to be lesser? Some do. You shouldn't, because they're still in this existence of life. And you should offer to kind of equal out the mountains from the valleys. Offer help. A lot of these people have cardboard signs saying, I will work for food, for whatever you want to give me. Hopefully I don't get snow crushing me on my head right now. There's been a couple times. I work on roofs. I'm not going to gloat, but it was very nice to bring a few people a day's work. And they were gracious. It was the most they got in a long time. And they say, yeah, bless you. Perhaps we were entertaining angels that day. Anyways, so back to the bag. And the funny little hat. What What's in the bag? So this is for somebody. Oh dear. This is for somebody who absolutely has nothing. They're on the street. Like I said, everything bought at the dollar store. Super cheap. The stuff isn't cheap. They just don't charge a bunch. So win-win for everybody. And, you know, put everything in plastic bags, right? So that when it rains, they're waterproof. Shampoo. A lot of these people haven't had shampoo in a while. Shampoo, conditioner, bar. It's like a bunch in one. Oh dear, here comes the stuff again. The wind is blowing rain. Snow on my head. Hydrating hand cream. A lot of these people have cracked hands because it's so cold. Like right now. Chapstick. Deodorant. Why deodorant? Why not? Matches. Don't give them a lighter. It enables things. Maybe you could give them a lighter. I don't know. You be the judge. You know, take it to y'all. Fingernail clippers, a toothbrush, stuff of that sort. If you see a woman out there, you know, there's good little hand filing. Guys don't really care too much about that. I don't know, maybe you do. What else? What's going on here? Toothpaste, because, you know, when you have a toothbrush, you gotta have toothpaste. What else? I'm making a mess out here. Who put this in here? Blistex? That's cool. All right. Christine, my wife, goes shopping for these things, and it's my job to go out there into the thick of things and give it. Socks. You gotta have socks. Fresh pair of socks. People. When you're out on the street and you only have one pair of socks, sometimes they stand up by themselves. I'm not joking. So a fresh pair of socks, clean socks. The clothing goes in the lap. Another pair of socks. If you have two, give it. Okay, here's another bag. Oh, this is like a repeat of the other one. Because, you know, two or more. Ooh, even better. It has more stuff in it. Don't we love opening up presents? I mean, not during a holiday, but like just in general. I like it. Literature. What in the world is going on? I'm not saying that you need to buy this specifically for somebody, but like, this is cool. This is really cool. Read the scriptures. Tell others of the Messiah. This specific one has a lot of stuff in it. I don't know. Go Google that, or duck it and go it. Keep on going here. Keep on going. Move on down the road. Move on down the road. This is like a wipes. Because, you know, people get dirty. And it's nice to wipe. So, things that are in the bag. Oh, yes, it's cold, so... Oh, you gotta have hand warmers. More hand warmers. When you cut yourself, you gotta have Band-Aids. You know, think of these things if you were out there. Whoa. Uh-oh. What would you want? Love your neighbor as yourself. What would you want? Oh dear. Making a mess. But I think you get the point with this bag. Let's keep on digging. Another toothbrush. Oh, notebook. Because, I mean, whoops. Uh-oh. You gotta write stuff down sometimes, right? When you can't talk because it's so cold. Your jaw's just sitting there jittering. Sometimes it's handy to write little notes. Love notes, what have you. Okay. And then last but not least. Yes, last but not least. A tarp. Give them a tarp. It's rainy. Tarps are cheap. And it keeps everything dry. And so does the bag. So, like I said, you can go to the store and you can stuff your bag however you want. But just think of others and what they might need. Because we're all one body. And, well, they are you. Their problems could be your problems someday. How this, oh man, this was said to me once before. I was on the street, and somebody in the same predicament came up to me. I was playing guitar. And he said to me, what did he say to me? How close are you? He was saying this to somebody else. I'm sorry. How close are you to being in my situation? Ask yourself that question, sir. And this guy was just like, he was taken back. He was like, okay, I'm 2 paychecks away from being kicked out of my apartment. And the guy that, asked him that, he was just like, I was too. And I lost my job. And here I am. And before asking that question, he was like, you could see the man's demeanor, like, I don't really want to help you. Because you look a certain way. So, have some compassion for others. And his demeanor totally changed. Hand him $100 and off he went on his merry way. Hold on. We have helicopters coming around. We have a lot of helicopters coming around. These are interesting times we're living in, folks. Okay. Last scripture. And then we will bust into some songs. I don't know. I'm just going to jam, really. Let's open up Ruth. Talk about a little brotherly love. Well, actually, in this book, it would be sisterly love, wouldn't it? But whatever. The same applies. And it's a short little bit. But Ruth said, "Do not urge me to leave you or go back from following after you." They became one. For wherever you go, I go. And wherever you stop over, I shall stop over. Your people is my people. And your Elohim, your God, is mine as well. Where you die, I die, and there I shall be buried. Yahweh do so to me, and more also, for death itself parts you and me. So we are one. And whatever problems arise individually, it's handy to make it known to others so that the one body can help itself achieve greater things. Love your neighbor. Much love. Says, let there be light. Much love. Stay warm. Stay vigilant. Stay strong.